we did our like very long kind of structured lessons, and then Craig did some sort of less structured stuff with you. From your perspective, in terms of not just like what you thought was effective, but what you actually liked doing, what was more, what was kind of the most fruitful for you?
I don't think they were a whole lot different than one another. I mean,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
I thought Craig's approach would have been a little bit, I don't know. I'm going to try his approach today and see how I like it. So Craig's approach, we should make a separate repo just for your shit. Um, okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, I just have them in the Megadoc in a folder called Jeff. Oh, I already did a tic-tac-toe thing before. I forgot about that. That was me preparing a lesson. So I'm just thinking. Okay, I'm just gonna call it T2, T3. I don't know. T3 2. There we go. TTT, this tic-tac-toe the second. Okay. Um, is my screen visible and or big enough?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say
Um,
so.
um, where should I start? Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna start an eScript. Um, okay. So I don't know if this counts as work or I guess I'm technically putting this on servers that QPQ owns because I'm lazy and GitHub and GitLab are terrible. So technically it's QPQ property, whatever. Let's see. Um, just thinking. Okay, so to start an eScript, you do main, then you have the args, but I'm just going to say they're empty. Okay, and Craig told you about Chmod, right? You there?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I'm like eating, so I don't want to chew in your
Oh,
ears.
yeah, that makes sense. I
But
should probably get some food.
yeah, to change like the readability and writability of the file, I guess just change the
Yeah.
properties in general.
Yeah. So if I do by ls-l, you can see here, um, I don't know what this first dash means. I think this is for if it's a directory or a normal file. Um, but this is it's user, group, and everyone. So everyone who is in my who is so I can read and write this file. Everyone in my group can read and write this file, and everyone else can only read it. Right. And then if I do chmod u plus x, and then now I can now the user I can edit it or I can execute it, but nobody else can. And now I run, and now you see it has a star next to it to indicate that it's executable. Okay, awesome. So the first thing um, with games, generally there's a loop structure. So it you start the game, it looks at the state of the game, and then determines what to do. So for now, what I'm going to work on is representing the state of the board. So the board, it's a 3x3 grid, and then printing the state. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And I already did this as an exercise myself a couple days ago, so I'm just define type, the type of there's a lot of different ways to represent the board. The most straightforward way would be a list of lists. However, that's going to be clunky to deal with. So I'm thinking beside, you know what, this is the type of thing that you really shouldn't overthink. I'm going to call it RC. And then this is going to be a tuple RC. The row is going to be a number between 1 and 3. And again, these annotations, there's a program that will enforce or that will check that they are correct, called Dialyzer. I do not have Dialyzer set up here, or I might, I'm not sure. Mostly these are just for human readability. And then type of board, this is going to be a hash map. And a square. So what goes in a square? It's either going to be empty, or it's going to have an X, or it's going to have an O. And a board is a hash map. I don't know if we've talked about hash maps before. Have we?
Sure, you've mentioned them, but I'm not sure that I know
Okay,
what it
I
is in
guess
particular.
we'll learn about hash maps. Actually, maybe a simpler approach. I'm gonna actually just use a prop list because that's a little simpler. Yeah, we'll do a hash map. So a board is essentially a hash map is sort of a function where it has a fixed array of it's a key value store. That's it. So the keys are the coordinates, which are 1 through 3 pairs, and I use an atom RC to indicate the order rather than like X and Y. So this is Y then X, but it's Y from the top.
Hmm.
Um, then I'm just thinking, okay. Um, Next, I'm going to write a function that gives me the empty board. So empty board. Um, um, so first thing I'm going to do is get a list of all of the coordinates. Um, and then I'm going to start um, and empty.
Just so you know, if you're hoping I'm going to repeat all this, I'm probably not going to be able to.
You're not going to be able to repeat all of it, but what I want you to observe is kind of how I'm thinking through the problem
Yeah,
of,
yeah, yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
first
Okay.
thing we need to represent the state of the board, and then we need to print that out. And then that'll be a starting point. So
So,
however you want to represent the state of the board is up to you. You don't have to do it exactly the same way I would recommend doing that because number one, there's a reason that I'm choosing to do it this way in terms of making the code cleaner, but also the, how do I phrase this? how you structure your logic is going to be downstream of how you structure your the state or the data that that logic is operating on, which is your state. And so I have enough experience. The reason I was thinking about this is I have enough experience to know that this is going to be the representation of the board that results in the how do I phrase this? That results in the most straightforward and easiest logic to write. Um, am I sharing the correct screen? I am. Okay. That results in the most straightforward and correct and easiest way to write the logic. And so I would recommend following, making it a hash map. Um, but anyway, so to get the, so I'm going to, this is a stub function that I haven't written yet. So, um, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write a function that, okay, this is a coordinate and the rest. And then I'm going to say new accumulator is equal to the accumulator. I'm not going to use magic syntax. And then I think it's set value or put or something. What is it? Is it put? Yeah, key value. Okay. Maps put C empty and then empty of rest with the new accumulator. And because we're not using a list, it's just a hash map. There's no order to the keys, so you don't have to worry about like reversing it at the end. And then, and in fact, I'm just gonna oh, C empty accumulator, and I'm just gonna make this empty the rest. Okay, and then chords all. This is just going to give me a list of rows and columns. Is chords all. We're going to start at 1, 1, and there we go. And chords all. So when we get to the end, we're going see. Do we care about the order? I'm just going to do let's reverse see. ACC stands for accumulator, by the way. That's
Okay.
usually what we call it. So we get to 0 and 3, then new C 1 1. Oh wait, R. So when we get to the end of a row, we're going to go to the next row and go to the first one. Okay. Then we're going to do chords all of new C, then C actually. Um, okay, and then general case. General case, we go, oh, wait, no, we want to go to the next column. We want to go to the next row. That would have created an infinite loop if I had not caught that. Um, oh, I'm going to call this RC.
Oh fuck.
What's wrong?
Oh, this is just I'm trying to figure out what you're doing.
Okay, so
I mean, like, not necessarily what you're doing, like why you're doing it. I'm like to be able to repeat it.
okay, here. So let me.
Like, I don't know if
Okay,
it's like I'm just stupid because it's been so long or what, but
that's fine. So what this is, I'll just show you chords all. Um, so what this does, chords all, is it just prints the list of the coordinates of every possible coordinate of the board in
right.
order.
Okay.
Okay. So the way that that works is I just kind of aped it and I said you start at 1 1 and you build up the list of coordinates. So let's just walk through the entire call chain actually. So we do chords all of RC11 and empty list. So here, I'll write out the whole call chain. Okay. This is going to go, well, it's going to try to match on the first one. Is this RC33? Is the first argument RC33?
You're asking me. No.
Yeah. No. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next one. Is it RC of R and 3 where R could be anything?
No.
Okay, cool. Let's try this third one. Is it RC of R and C where R and C could be anything?
Well, yes.
Okay, and accumulator, we don't care what that is. Well, it's empty list, right? So what's
Right.
ACC? Okay, cool. So the new accumulator, we're just going to, I'll figure this out in a second. But what is new accumulator going to be? Given that RC is RC11.
Um. What would the accumulator be? Honestly, I have no fucking clue.
So, so chords all of RC11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is going to be, I'm just going to do RC is equal to 1 1 and
Right.
ACK is equal to that, right?
Right.
Okay, new RC is going to be what? It's going to, this is
It's gonna
here.
be what, RC12?
Yes, RC1 2. And then new ACK is going to be what? Oh, let me. So this is the clause that we're looking at. Let me zoom it in so you can see both of them.
Okay, just 1 1.
Yeah, RC1 1, right?
Right. Okay.
Okay, and then what is the results going to be? What are we going to do on line 48, given that we now have new RC and new ACK?
New RC. It's gonna be chords all RC 1 2.
Yeah, RC1 2 and RC1 1.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. So let's trace out this call chain. What's this going to do?
It's going to go through. It's not 3 3. It's not going to be R3. So it's going to do the same thing. The third one, RC 1
Right.
2, and then 1 3. Okay.
Okay, so this is going to call, I'm just going to skip the intermediate steps. This is going to be, what's the next argument going to be?
Where? In like the new chords all after it goes through 1 3?
Or yeah, so
RC
here,
1
let's
3,
just
and then
do
accumulator is going to be what? 1 1 and 1 2?
yes, but in which order?
1 1, then 1 2? No, 1 2, then 1 1.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now we're going to call 1 3, and this is our accumulator.
Right. So it's going to
What,
be
what
at the, it's going to get caught at the second chords all
right, which is going to go to what?
2 3.
Hmm? Look carefully.
Oh, 2 1. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then this is going to be what?
1 3, 1 2, 1 1.
Yeah. Okay. Then do I have to walk you through what happens on the second row? Or do you
No,
kind of
the
get
rest of it, yeah, I get it.
okay.
2 2 2 3
Now,
3 1 3 2 3 3. Okay.
okay. Now, final, I'm just going to put dots. And then when we get to this will be RC32, RC1. What's this going to go to?
Just gonna reverse the list.
Right. You're going to, well, you're going to put, it's going to be, riverless of RC33, 2,
Right. Yeah.
which is going to be
1 1 1 2 1 3 2 1 2 2 2 3. Got it.
you get the okay.
Yeah.
So that's all that's going on here. And then what empty is doing is it's saying, okay, I have all the coordinates. I'm going to similarly build up a hash map that for each coordinate um, takes basically maps that coordinate to empty. So I'll show you. Oh, I'm going to switch this to empty. So it's going to be a hash map, and then its key goes to value with an equals sign.
Mm-hmm.
So each square goes to empty. Does that sound
Mm-hmm.
reasonable? Okay,
Yep.
cool. Okay, next is just pretty printing the board. And I'm going to show you a concept in Erlang called IO lists. So essentially, we're going to build something that's kind of string-like. Um, um, sorry, my wife just texted me. Okay, Now, format board, and I'll explain what an IO list is, but just for now, think about it as a string. Um, okay, so um, okay, so um, I am just going to print. Hmm, probably. Okay, simplest. Simplest is just to print the three rows just as characters. So um, again, I'm going to need a list of all the coordinates, right? Actually, no. You know what? I'm just going to do this by hand. Um, what I am going to do is write a thing called format square. I do need to take a board in as an argument.
Is
Uh,
spec something we've done before? What's spec?
spec is just it's like a type for a function.
Okay,
Yeah, so
got it.
spec. Okay, format square. Square is going to be one of three values. What are those values?
X, O, or blank,
Yeah.
or
Um,
empty, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, I selected empty. This is just going to print an X. It's going to print an O. And this is going to print an underscore. Um, so I'm trying to remember the syntax. I think it's maps get. I'm just going to double check. Key. Okay. 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 I'm going to write an intermediate thing. I
FSQ.
and I will write FSQ in a second. All right. Is this kind of making sense? And FSQ board C is just going to run format square is equal to maps get RC to RC RC and board. Okay, and I'm just shortcutting this. That's all, or I'm just factoring this out into a different function. Okay, and okay, I'm just gonna call it board is equal to empty. And then board stir board of board. Oh, and then I'm just going to print what this ends up looking like. Oh, okay. So this ends up being a list of strings. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Mm-hmm.
However, in Erlang, if you take a list of strings, it can also be a list of strings mixed with binaries, mixed with deeper lists of strings. You can kind of just, as long as you just put the characters in the correct order, it'll figure it out. If instead of tilde p, you print with tilde s, and voila, it prints the board.
Mm.
Cool. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a slightly prettier. I actually, you know what? Let's get you to the point of here and not make it more complicated than this. I want to maybe in the next step make the board printing a little prettier. But for now, this is good. Does that sound reasonable?
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna unshare. Do you want actually? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna unshare and so if you can you share your Linux thing, and if you want this as a reference, tell me and I will
Yeah.
give it
I'm
to you.
gonna be completely lost.
All right. Start with what I did. So start with making an e script that does hello world, then figure out some way to represent the board, and then some way
Feel
to print the characters of the board.
like I'm getting thrown in the deep end here.
We could
There.
warm up with easier problems, but I don't think that this is particularly it's all that challenging. Start with hello world. So make a new e script called T Tic-Tac-Toe or TTT or whatever, and have it just do hello world. So let's start with that.
I don't even remember how to open a file. We the last time we did this was like a month ago, so I'm like,
Okay. So CD to src/cb,
yeah,
or
okay,
maybe
CD, okay,
okay, and then do vim. Do you want to not deal if okay, you can deal with vim if you want. Vim space ttt and just call it ttt and then hit enter. Okay, now your first line, this is a convention on Linux. It needs to be what's called a crunch bang line. So the hash symbol. So go to insert, hash symbol, exclamation mark. I'm getting feedback. Can you turn your volume down slightly?
yep, sorry.
Slash USR slash bin slash env space escript. Okay, two enters. Main open paren, um, either open close square or underscore, up to you. Goes to new line and tab. IO colon format, open paren, open quote, hello world, and then tilde n. Close, close, and actually, okay, that's fine. And then hit a period. Then escape and write colon W. Okay, now in the other tab, Okay. You need to do chmod space u plus x space ttt. Okay, now do dot slash ttt. Okay, cool. All right. Now, go back to Vim. Hit L. Okay, hit colon Q. Now hit up arrow and enter. Okay, see now you have the colors.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
okay, see I know how important colors are. Um, so your next task is to represent the state of the board. I would even say just start with what I did, which was um, represent the coordinates and enumerate them.
Fuck, hold on. Something's happening.
You need to hit, well, you hit colon Q to get out, and
Yes, I
then,
know. It's because this is
oh,
weird beeping sound.
oh yeah, the beeping. That's always great.
How do I stop the beeping?
Oh, you know what that is? It's a terminal bell. So when you notice how it flashes every time there's a beep, that's just like really um old school Unix thing. There's a way to turn off the
Make it
beeping,
stop.
but
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna.
you can, oh wait, here. The easiest approach, let me show you the easiest approach. Go up into the top right corner. You see where it has like the power icon? There's one that should be sound, and just mute the sound.
The sound was muted. I don't know why it was beeping then. Okay,
Here,
whatever.
see if it still beeps.
It's not beeping anymore. No, we're good.
Okay.
Okay. I fucking hate Vim.
Do you want to
What
just
was it?
stop
What was
trying
it
to
for
deal
a
with
new
them?
line? No, no, no. It's fine. What was it for a new line
Hit
again?
escape. You got to go into normal
Yep.
mode and then lowercase o.
Okay. Yeah, this I can handle. Okay. So then, oof. God, I feel so. It's like I didn't even pay attention, even though I did. I just like fuck.
It's okay. So I would say define the type first. So dash type space RC open close paren or chord, whatever you want to call it,
Okay, RC.
lowercase rc, open close paren, space two colons, colon, colon, space, um, open curly, RC, comma, integer, open close paren, comma, integer, open close paren, close square period, or close curly period. Okay. Um, then write a function using the stuff you learned a month ago, uh,
Yeah.
that will basically give you a list of every
Right, of
possible
all
point.
of the values. Okay.
Yeah, so start with
Um,
1, 1. Then at each time, you need to determine, do I need to go to the next row? Is this the end of the list entirely? And maybe solve it on paper first, whatever, and then write it up.
Type RC. Okay. Was this RC11 to start off, right? Or is it empty?
Yeah, 1, 1. We're not even considering squares at this point. We're literally just caring about coordinates.
And then the accumulator, right?
Yes.
And how do I
And
put that in? Is that a separate,
it's
like,
just a separate argument.
okay. This is how you do separate arguments? God, I feel like I've learned nothing. Okay.
No, so what you should do, first of all, the your function names need to be start with lowercase.
Okay. Okay.
I love you stubbornly trying to learn Vim.
Okay.
Okay. So call list chords with
They have
the
to start
first,
with lowercase, whatever. I'm just going to make the whole thing lowercase.
that's fine.
Okay.
And then it should take two arguments. The first argument is the starting coordinate, and the second argument is the starting accumulator.
Okay. It doesn't matter what I name them here, right?
It does not matter. Well, you shouldn't be giving them names here. You should give them names in your function.
Or I give them
In list
values.
chords.
Okay.
Yeah, you give them values.
Chords, starting coordinate. Fuck me. Okay, hold on. So we start with 1 and 1, right?
Yeah. So I
But
would I would create an RC value. So open curly RC comma 1 comma 1. Close curly, comma, and then open close square for empty list. Then and then don't forget your period.
okay, so why does this work? RC11. Is that that's just okay, never mind.
That's just the starting point. Now you need to write list chords 2. List chords slash 2, I mean. So list chords with no arguments calls a different function list chords that takes 2 arguments, and currently that is not defined, so you need to define that.
Wait, can I won't it which how does it know which one to call then? Is it just because there's
Because
only
different function, so if two functions have the same name but
uh
different arities, meaning they take different numbers of arguments, then as far as Erlang is concerned, they are different functions.
right, but
So
the base function is only taking one argument. So how does it know which one to pick if it only gets one argument?
so the base function is taking 0 arguments. Here, hit Control X to turn on line numbers. So you see on line 9,
Mm-hmm.
um, list chords, open close paren. How many arguments is that?
I guess that's 0, huh?
0. So on line 12, list chords, open close paren. How many arguments is that?
0.
Okay, and how many arguments is it supposed to take?
I guess 0.
No.
Oh, is it 2 because it's taking from the
Yeah.
one up above?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you're on line 10, you're calling into this function that you're
That's
maybe
what
let's
I
give
was
them
wondering. Okay.
you could give them different names if that would be less confusing to you.
RC, fuck me. RC,
Oh, you
and
went into
then
replaced mode, you hit R instead of I. It's fine.
I don't give a fuck. Okay.
And then it
Motherfucker,
needs to
why?
go to something.
Yes, it does. Okay.
Okay. Now, right. So the accumulator is what you are eventually returning, right? So that's going to be the final list of coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to determine, given the RC value that I am looking at, first of all, is this the terminal case? So am I done? And if
Right. No,
so,
I remember what you did for this one. So it was RC3, 3, close curly, and then it's not empty list, is it?
so I think what you're doing is you're saying if RC is RC33, that's what you want to express.
Right. Okay.
So for that, you would change line 12 actually.
But that's not
Another
the way you
approach
did it though. But you doesn't matter. It's whatever way to get it
that,
to
that,
work.
that is the way I did it.
With
I
an
can show
if
you.
statement?
Not with an if. I did it using branching in the function head. So on line 12, you see where it says RC?
Right. Okay.
I did RC equals
Oh.
RC33. That is an
Okay.
assertion.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is your terminal case, right? At
Right.
this
I'm gonna
point,
save
you're
that for
done.
last.
Okay. And then, okay, so that's if you visualize the board, that's if I've gotten to the bottom right square. The other
Mm-hmm.
case where I have a janky thing is if I get to the end of a row, and in that case, I need to go to the beginning of the next row, right?
Right. So is it
So
RC underscore 3?
that's correct. Yes.
Okay. And then the
And
third
then
case is list chords
in this
RC
case, yeah, you don't care about
underscore
either of these because this is just
underscore.
like a general case.
And
And then
it'll pick the first one if it's relevant, right? Like it won't jump to the
yes,
third
yeah,
one
it'll
even
pick
though it's
it'll
okay.
check the cases in the order that you give them.
Sick. ACC. Okay. So,
So in this
right.
case, you
No, hold
imagine I'm
on.
here. You got it. Okay.
So, fuck. Okay, but it's new RC equals shit. First of all, I'm going to tab new RC equals. Can I just do like RC? I don't know why I do. I like change how I want to do my apostrophes every single time. RC blank blank plus one. Does that work?
That will not work in this specific case. However, the idea that you are trying to attempting to express is so the idea you're attempting to express is the correct idea. It's just that is not the correct way to express that idea. But the idea that focus on expressing the correct idea first, and then we will worry
We'll
about
go back
correctly
later.
expressing.
Okay,
Yeah, that makes sense.
deal. It's coming back to me really quickly. Okay. New RC. Is it new accumulator as well? I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. New accumulator, and that should be done.
Yeah, and then you need a period at the end and you need commas after 17 and 18.
And poop. Okay.
Okay, now the idea, let's pause for a second.
Okay.
Um, the idea that you are attempting to express, what you need to do is edit line 16, and instead of underscores, you need to give them names, so R and C. And then R is going to be the same, and then it's going to be C plus 1. Okay, there you go. Now let's go do the other two cases first. There you go. There you go. You got it. Hmm. Okay. If you hit escape and then hit greater than, so shift period period, then it'll do the indentation for you. I use that a lot. Okay, now you need, for this, you want tilde P, and then after the close quote, comma, space, open square. You need to give it a list. List chords, open close paren. And then empty. Okay, and then hit escape and write. Okay, so you're going to have a few syntax errors, and then once you fix those, you're going to have a few logic errors. Okay, so 16, figure out the mistake you made. I don't know why you have comma ACC there at all. Try saving that and You have a couple of ant poop errors, but that okay. So the reason that you're getting this error, or you guess, and then I'll tell you if you're right or not. And if you can't figure it out, just ask.
I am muted. Fuck me. How long have I muted for? I have no idea why the function head splitting isn't working.
Oh, it's because you have a period at the end of 13 and you should have a semicolon. Same with the end of 18.
Oh.
Because
Oh.
semicolon means end of function. So so you already defined list chords too, and then it's saying, hey, you're trying to define a function again that you've already defined. That no, it can have one definition.
No,
No,
that
that
gets
one should be
period.
a period.
Okay. Yeah,
That one
yeah,
should
yeah,
be a
yeah.
period. Yeah.
And then type RC isn't used. Why not?
That
Will
that's
go
because it
away.
doesn't appear
Okay.
in any type spec, but that's just you can ignore that one. If you want to make that go away, I can show you how. Okay. Okay, cool. So almost
One
there.
two one three, 2 1 2 2 2 3, 3 1 3 2 3 3. Okay, so where's 1 1?
Yeah, where is 1 1? So maybe track through the logic of your code and see if I call it with 1 1, what happens? So just mentally step through the logic of your code that you actually have written.
Okay, 1 1 will go down to RC, new RC. Oh, new accumulator needs to go before new RC.
Mm, the order
Wait, no,
doesn't
it doesn't.
matter. What matters is that you put new RC in the head of the accumulator. So you're just ignoring the old one. That should just be RC. So
Okay.
if you give it 1 1, it's saying new RC is RC 1 2. Okay, I'm going to put that in the head of the accumulator.
Right, right. Okay. So do I have to type in RC then? Like,
So the easiest way, the way that I did it, would be on line 21 before the open curly.
uh-huh.
Um, for the open curly, type capital RC equals space. And then on line 23, just put RC in there. Then save, and now try running it. Okay, cool. Yay. Except you're getting
Wait a
okay, so
second.
now you
Now
have
one
an
three's
now you have
missing.
yeah. So what
Two
happens
one
when you
two
run
one
it on
two two 3 1 3 1 3 2. What the fuck? Okay.
so what's going on where you are adding where so let's fix the first one first. So what happens when you get to 1 3? Because that's clearly an issue.
Okay, 1 3. We'll go here. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay.
Mhm. It's tricky for me watching because I spot these mistakes immediately, and then I go, okay, but if I interject and say, oh, you made a logical mistake, like then I throw you out of like I can tell that you're directionally correctly solving the problem, but you're making these kind of like stupid mistakes.
Okay,
Okay,
one
it's
three two,
almost
same
done.
thing. Yeah. Wait. Oh, I didn't even accumulate. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't add it to the final accumulator, so you're almost done. You need a comma, then you need to make one more change, and then it should work. There you go.
Oh, hey.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
actually did it from top to bottom this time too.
Yeah. Okay, so
Why'd that
code
happen?
hygiene, code, it did it. Oh, that's just because the list was long enough that it decided to print it over multiple lines.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Um, so code hygiene thing. So go back to your code. This isn't a thing having to do with like the functionality. This is just writing code the way
Make
everyone
it
writes.
less
So that
code, yeah.
it's
I
not
mean, oops,
necessarily a
sorry. Hi, YouTube.
yeah, yeah, let's cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks. Um, I'm just going to say that so that I can search for that phrase in the transcript so that I know where I need to edit. Um, anyway, so I would delete the blank lines between disjoint clauses of the same function. So delete 15, 20, and 21.
How do I do that again?
DD. Yeah. So just as a convention, all one function should just be kind of one. It's more just about how do I phrase this? If everyone writes code that kind of visually looks the same or follows the same sort of conventions, then it's easier when you're reading somebody else's code or when somebody else is reading your code, if you kind of stick to the same style, for them to kind of just their eyes to naturally go to the correct place for wherever they're looking, whatever information they're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the list of coordinates. Now, if you want, do you want to add type specs to your function so that you get rid of that unused type error, or do you not care?
I mean, what? Yeah, sure.
Okay, so on line, so make a new line below this. So hit lowercase o dash spec and list chords. Uh-oh, I might need to get that one sec. Sorry about that. My mother called me, and sometimes she needs something that's urgent, and that was not one of those occasions.
No
Um,
worries.
so list chords open close paren goes to um, space open square RC open close paren.
Capital RC?
No, lowercase RC, because it goes to a list here. Actually, instead of even using the square, literally, okay, delete everything after the goes to. Okay, type the word list, LIST, open paren, RC open close paren, close paren, period. So this is saying that list chords is an alias. So list chords with no parent. So it's kind of confusing because it's overloading the syntax, but essentially this is type syntax saying that list chords, when it sees that type, list chord 0, the type list chords with no arguments,
Mm-hmm.
goes to, it rewrites to the type list of RCs. Does that make sense? It's a little tricky to think about.
No.
Okay, don't worry about it then. Okay, hit escape and colon W. You're having a hard enough time just writing code, but don't worry about the type syntax. Okay, cool. All right, next order of business is to represent the board.
Okay.
And then so I would do I would put all of my types in the same place. So I would say type board online, or you need to represent a square and then a board. If you want to copy the way that I did it, it might be a little bit more straightforward to just make your board a list of lists. It's up to you how you want to do things, whatever you think would be easier for you.
I have no frame of reference for what's easy or not.
Um, I let's be ambitious. Let's do this with hash maps. So type board open close paren
Smack keyboard gets me sometimes. Yeah, okay.
space colon space the hash symbol open curly RC open close space equals greater than space square open close, and then we'll define square in a second. Close curly period. And I don't think you're allowed to have a hash or a space between the hash and the open curly, but I don't actually know for sure. It might be worth experimenting. Anyway, then capital O, open a new line above that. Or uh, I think the order of type specs actually does matter. Dash type of square, open close, goes to, and then it's just going to either be empty, pipe X, pipe O. So it's saying it's exactly one of these three types, which is the atom empty, the atom X, the atom O, and you do need a period. And spaces between those are good, but you don't. It's your code, so do whatever you want. Okay, now colon W. Okay, now let's write a function that gives you the empty board. Now I'm gonna. Okay, you know what? I changed my mind. I changed my mind. Um, go back. On line 9, we're not going to deal with this hash map shit because I don't want to have to teach you two things. Just delete all of that and just make it a list of lists of squares. Is that fair? Then we'll write a function that addresses the squares.
List of squares. Okay.
Yeah. So list of square. Not don't list open paren list open paren. Yeah. Square open close paren. So square just like that is the atom square. So square open close paren is the type square. And then period. Okay. Now, just given now that it's just a list of lists, write out your internal representation. So type dash spec or wherever you want it to be. Okay. We're going to, and then call it empty board or board 0, whatever you want to call it. Open close paren, space goes to, and then it goes to a board. So board, open close paren. Okay. Period. Okay. And then write the function empty board. that, hi, sweetheart, you come to you come to ruin this? Come here, baby. Hi, hey, sweetie. Come here. Hi. Empty board. And here you don't need to do anything fancy the way I did it because I'm using the hash map representation. Here, you can literally just create a list of three, the just list of rows. So open, open, open square. I mean, you better not swat me in the face again. Here, do you want to be in my lap? Come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Are you upset? Come here. I'm sorry.
Well, just to type empty,
Yeah, eat empty. Well,
or do I have to do that for each?
empty. No, 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 no. Empty, comma. Delete the square. Space. Empty. Space, comma, space. Close square. Comma. New line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Space. Make it all a line, and then empty, 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 and empty, empty, empty.
Empty, empty, empty. It's a funny word, empty.
Hey, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. It's okay. There we go. Good girl. Good girl. You're a good
So why do we
sweetie.
need to declare the specs? Isn't that going to be pretty straightforward once like the functions are written out?
Yeah, the specs are there purely for your benefit. They are not they are not necessary. You can delete them, and the code will work exactly the same way.
Okay.
They are there, and there is automated tooling that will check that the specs are correct, but they are unnecessary. And by the way, the spec. I don't know if this will trigger an error. I'm actually curious. So, write and try running it. Okay. So what was interesting to me, apparently your spec does not need to be immediately next to the function. However, it is traditional that the spec goes right before the definition of the function, even though that is not required. They are separate pieces of data. So delete line. You can just here. Actually, do me a favor, hit DD, then go down to line 27 and hit P. There you go. Okay, cool. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So now uh, go up to line 4 and swap out list chords with empty board. You know, for tic-tac-toe, actually, the list of list things would be a little simpler. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, now it's just bitch. Okay, you see
Oh,
now
wait,
that you
wait, wait,
have.
wait, 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 wait. I remember this part. S. Oh, shit.
Oh, that's not going to work in this case, but you can try it.
Why won't it work in this case?
Well, you'll see.
One of these days.
Why don't you just use a normal editor while you're learning how to program, and then at a later time
Nah.
worry about learn? Okay.
Why
Okay.
didn't it work?
Well, number one, you didn't save the file, so
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, if you're gonna be like that with me.
it do be like that. Yeah.
Oh.
So the reason is because the atom empty. So it's saying, oh, this is something that's kind of a string-ish, string-like thing. So it's a string or a list of strings or binary or whatever, and then it's getting the atom empty, and it's like, I have no idea what the fuck to do with this. I'm just going to chimp out. Um, Now, you're missing an intermediate step, which is formatting the board. So converting the board to a string. Does that make
Mm,
sense?
yeah.
So that I wrote a function called format board. And then it takes the board as an argument, uppercase board. I'm not bothering to write a spec for this. If you want to, we can, but it's not important. And then format board of board goes to, and actually, so instead of board on line 34, what I would do is go up to where it says board on line 34. Do you want to figure this out, or do you want me to just tell you? Here, just so two open squares, A comma B comma C, all capitals, close square, comma, open square, DEF, and then GHI. You need a comma. Then close, yeah, okay. Now on the next one, um, open square, um, call it FSQ again, of open paren, A, close paren, comma, FSQ of B, and FSQ of C. FSQ just stands for format square. And then comma, open quote, \n. Close quote, comma, new line, and then do the same thing for D, E, and F, and then the same thing for G, H, and I.
I don't need to open square.
No, you do not. You can if you want to. It will
What,
result
do
in
I
the
have to
same.
close square anywhere at the end of this or no?
Oh, at the very end, once you're done with D, E, F, and G, H, I.
Okay.
And then close square and period. And then for FSQ, you need to write that. That's going to be a new function. And then I would just do X, O, and empty. So it takes a square as an argument, right?
Yeah.
Well, so what happens when you get an X? Actually, let's do what we did before with list chords and write out the cases first. So FSQ of X, just plain old X, atom X, goes to and then we'll leave it blank. And then what are the other two cases? Okay. Now, what what string does the atom X go to?
What string does the atom X go to? Well, the coordinate that they put in, right?
Not the coordinate. It just if we're what we're doing is we have our representation of the board as far as our program is concerned, and then we're worrying about displaying it as a string. So, given that we have a square and it's an X, what does
Mm-hmm.
this? That should just go to quote X quote, right? Semicolon or whatever. And then, oops. And then for empty, oops, that I had it go to an underscore, but you can have it go to whatever you want. And then period. Okay, and then escape and write and try it. Uh-oh.
That's
Okay.
unused, unused, unused. I mean, yeah, okay.
Okay, so go back to, so it's still printing empty, empty, empty. So go back to line like whatever, 4, whatever it was in main. Okay, and then it would be format board of empty board.
Format. Oh, like that?
Yeah, well, you don't have a function called board. I think you meant format board of empty board.
Format board of empty board. Oh, got it. Like that.
That's gonna error, but you can try it and see.
Well, no, you already spoiled it for me. Like that? What am I missing here?
Well, you're calling format board with the atom empty board. There you go. Then I think you have mismatched parens. So the one before format board, you need to delete that one. There you go. And that should almost work. So run it and then you'll see what happens. Save. Okay, so see how now it's printing out the actual like list of strings,
Mm-hmm.
and to have it say, hey, actually I want this to be a string that you print, concatenate all those things and then print them, you switch tilde P to tilde S.
Like that.
There we go. Now try it again. Yay.
Yay. And this is as far as you got.
This is as far as I got. I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. This might be a good stopping point, and we could come back to this in a while. So the next thing I was going
A
to do,
while. Oh no. Okay, yeah.
maybe I don't know, next week, probably.
Yeah,
Let's
preferably
try
early
just
next week.
doing.
I'd
Let's
like
do
to go back to doing
shorter.
this more frequently.
Yeah, yeah, and then let's make them shorter sessions, so instead of being marathon like 4 hour sessions. Let's do like a couple 1 or 2 hour sessions a week.
Hmm.
3 or 4 of those. Does
I
that sound
like
good?
that. Yeah, yeah.
All right. All right. All right. I'll let you go. This is a good stopping point.
Okay, and I say I wrote it, I saved it. That's all good. Like I can just come back to
Yeah.
this. Okay.
Yeah. You should just come back to that. The next thing to do is number one, learn how to take input from the user.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to have a loop where basically we take input from the user, change the board, then display the new board to the user, take new input, need to like alternate whose turn it is.
Right.
So, and then then for the first thing, we're not even going to bother determining if someone wins or
I was about
like
to say win condition sounds like it'd be a headache. Like if X equals on these coordinates,
yeah,
like
well, so
no.
that the win conditions are a lot easier to write out if you use my map representation.
Okay.
Um, so that was why I chose that. However, like what's also just a little simpler, what's also equivalently simple is just what was I going to write? Say equivalently simple. Um, gah, I don't remember. Um,
Win conditions as well as user input.
Win condition. Oh, I was going to say it's easy enough for yours to just write functions that say get me the square at 2, 2, and
Right.
then dig out the correct one in the list. And then for the win conditions, you say, okay, I dig out 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Are all three of them X's? Cool, then X wins. Are all three of them O's? Cool, then O wins. If
And you got to do
not,
that for each winning
for
combination.
each win condition, and if none of the win conditions are true, then nobody wins.
Right.
Makes
So
sense?
basically, it's either it goes to the next turn, or if the board's full, then game over.
Yeah, then it's a draw. Um,
Yeah.
so all right, I'll let you go. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Or
Sounds good. Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you
yeah.
for doing this, by the way.
All right,
I
yeah,
much
you're welcome.
appreciate it. It'll pay off one day, I'm
It
sure.
will. It will. See ya. Bye.
Take care.